This next list is always my favorite, the most traded players. So we're going to see the players that you're either buying low or selling high on. And I hope a lot of these scenarios are buying low, especially when you talk about Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Ezekiel Elliott, and Saquon Barkley. 3 relatively high draft picks. You could throw George Kittle in that list as well. Maybe James Robinson also. Relatively high draft picks who have struggled to start the season, and you're hopeful that they're going to turn things around. So I'm just going to ask you quickly, point by point, if you think turnaround or it could be a little bit of a concern. So Clyde Edwards-Helaire, turnaround coming?
I think there will be a turnaround from where he's been, but he won't justify his draft cost.
Ezekiel Elliott, I know people are probably thinking he had a bad game or that Tony Pollard is better, but is he going to turn things around to where we thought he could be the 5th overall pick?
No, I don't think that he is. I was actually more discouraged by last week than I was the first week because Pollard had such a huge share of the touches. I still think Zeke will be better than he's been. I would rather have him than Barkley. I'd rather have him than Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but I think he's more in that second round range.
Do you know that he's played 60 more snaps than Tony Pollard, and people still think Pollard is the better play? He might look better.
Right. Yeah, I don't think
play Tony Pollard over Zeke Elliott.
No.
But Zeke is still, I think, going to be fine. I'm a little bit more optimistic on him, I think, than you are. And then Barkley ripped off the 41-yard run against the Washington football team last Thursday, played 84% of the snaps, so his snap count increased. Is he the perfect buy low candidate?
Yeah, I'm really surprised he's on this list because I kind of assumed that anyone who drafted Saquon Barkley knew the first 2 weeks would be bad and would be too excited about this Atlanta game. But it is a scary situation if you have Saquon Barkley on your roster because if he's bad against the Falcons, I don't know what you're getting for him.
The sell high candidates make some sense. Elijah Mitchell, everybody picked him up, trying to trade him. Had 17 touches last week, but the shoulder injury, we'll see how things go from week 3 against the Packers team. This is a pretty fascinating stat that I found, by the way. They've played each other 4 times in the last 3 seasons, including the playoffs. The 49ers have scored 8 rushing touchdowns in those 4 games. Obviously, you're factoring in the Raheem Mostert 4-touchdown game in the NFC Championship game a couple of years ago, but still, they run the ball with a lot of success against the Packers. We'll see if Elijah Mitchell takes advantage of that. But he's a sell-high candidate. Rob Gronkowski's a sell-high candidate. And I asked you this question on Tuesday's show with the trade talk that we had with Dave Richard. If you are the Rob Gronkowski, if you're the George Kittle manager, I'm going to phrase this the right way. If you're the Rob Gronkowski manager, no. You're the George Kittle manager. What I'm trying to say is, would you trade Rob Gronkowski to get George Kittle?
I would still rather have George Kittle. Gronk has scored on 30% of his targets so far this season, and he's always scored at a high rate, close to 10%. He scored 3 times as many touchdowns as you would expect from his earlier career.